Hey everyone, NanMans here, and we've got a special video for you today. This is our 2025 recap video, but also we're going to be talking about what our first full year on YouTube looked like as a partnered creator here on YouTube and how much we got paid with 1,000 subscribers. So let's jump into the video and show you guys a little bit about what 2025 was like. You can see behind me scrolling is a lot of our thumbnails that we used this year for all the different gameplay stuff that we featured on the channel. We did a lot of videos this year. Let me look. Is there a way to look to see how many videos? Can I sort by just 2025? Probably. I mean, basically we did, I don't know, there's 52 weeks in a year, and we did 2 videos a week, sometimes more than that. We started to do a little bit more short form content in the summertime, you know, kind of back and forth between things. But basically, we found a release schedule that worked for us for 2025, which was every Monday and Thursday we would release gameplay footage, which you guys can see the thumbnails are behind me for that, different matches and different games that did take place. So that was awesome to be able to show off so much great stuff from our local game store. A lot of the game play and coverage comes directly from that, so it is all just top-down coverage of it. We don't have a setup that has the face cams and stuff like that yet. We're looking into it, you know, always looking for ways to improve and grow the channel and improve the content for you to be able to enjoy. So, you know, that is one thing to kind of note, is things that we're looking for 2026 and going forward here. But let's shift gears a little bit and show you guys what the kind of analytics look like for the channel, how that looked for maybe some of the top videos, where we are on the subscriber count, everything like that. So let's shift over and show you at least the subscriber count, and then we'll talk about top videos from 2025. All right, so this is our current subscriber count as of, what is this, 12/27, the time of recording, 1,276, which is awesome to be able to see how much growth you can kind of see. Here's our 2025 overall. We started January out with 935 subscribers. So that was great to see sort of this progress here, and you can see kind of just like the overall growth. There's been some dips and some ups and downs here as we're getting up to where we currently are now, but that should at least let you know of like an indication. Yes, we have 1,000 subscribers, but our videos are not pulling in 1,000 views every single time that we upload them. They're in the hundreds there, which we're very happy about. And that is one thing to note, is like, if you're starting out, especially with a niche, you know, content creation like Magic the Gathering, there is something to note of like, hey, not every video is going to be a banger. You're not having the 100% content quality production as some of the big YouTube channels. So if you're trying to grow, be aware that, you know, every little bit counts. Like 30 views is still like a full classroom worth of people watching. You know, a couple hundred is like a theater. So like, you know, try to kind of view it in those terms. But let's look at like actual video size and content related to overall views and what maybe got the most views this year. Here is our top content for 2025. Basically, which video did the best view wise, you know, all that kind of breakdown. So let's get into it and talk a little bit about it here. First one that we do have is our modern tier list, the post-ban stuff. That was January of, you know, 2025, got 3,200 views. And that was right around the time that Grinding Station got banned. So we were really looking at like, okay, this deck is gone. This was the best deck, the most powerful deck. What decks are going to kind of fill that void? I mean, we talked about Boros Energy. We talked about Amulet Titan. Some of these kind of really powerful decks that were right up there at the top, and then just sort of a sprinkling of other decks there. So that was really, really good to see. We also had, if you look a little bit further down, our modern meta breakdown video from 2025 in November. We had like 40 some decks that we talked about there. So this is right after the Worlds, you know, where Modern was the format for Worlds, so that was, or the Pro Tour, I'm sorry. So that was important to kind of highlight all of that stuff. So that was 1,700 views. Yeah, we talked about not all of our stuff is getting this much. Gameplay-wise, we had 2 videos in 2025 get into our top 10, I guess, of videos there. Lantern Control versus Bant Living End, 2,700. So the algorithm just kind of caught a hold of that one and loved that one. Kind of took that one off and was like, yep, let's go show off this one for a bit. Our Prowess Phoenix versus Hollow one, 1,483 views for that one there, which my head's in the way. You can't see it. There you go. And then we got a lot of short form content here that was getting like 1,000 views. I started to, at least 3 of those made it into the top 10. Again, this was all like me starting to try to figure out shorts a little bit more. You see, especially when I had the free time to do it. This was all summertime stuff, June, July, and just sort of talking about different meta decks and what those looks like. And then we had 2 outlier videos here. This is how to play on Spell Table without a camera and how to uncurl your cards. So the Spell Table one, we got 1,800 views this year. We got 1,700 views on the how to uncurl. And this video came out in 2022 about how to, play on Spell Table without a camera, and how to uncurl your cards came out in 2024. So 2 videos that are older that still racked in a lot of views. So this is one thing to note, that if you are doing the old content creation thing on YouTube, is that older videos can still be able to increase your view counts and stuff like that. So let's take a look at least about this one real quick, because I think this is important. So here you go. It's gotten 5,000 views overall, and you can see continuing to get views here. Gotten 10 new subscribers from it and $5 from this video. Not bad, right? 5,000 views since published is pretty good. Decent amount of watch time. It's still getting views, even like 17 views in the last, 48 hours. A lot from external. I don't know, someone's posted this up or linked it up. There's a whole breakdown that we could do and search through, and you should if you are going to be going through things like audience stuff and stuff like that, but we're not going to worry about that now. Let's take a look at the other video that came out a while ago, our uncurling one, and look at what those stats look like, and then we'll get into and talk about how much we made overall here on YouTube in 2025 and what that normally looks like for our videos. All right, how to uncurl your cards. This is another one that's gotten about $5.66 we've gotten. Cool, sweet. 2,000 videos since it was published. So less views, less subscribers, more money for it. Also depends on when it went live. You notice it was, depending on the time period, what's happening for things, different ad revenues, all that kind of good stuff there. But, still pretty happy with how this is going in, because any videos that are older that are still giving us more subscribers, still getting us more views, more eyes on the channel are important to note here. Then we'll show you guys what our typical videos are making, because this is like, in a year, this made about $5. Here's what we'll look at our most recent video, one that came out on Thursday there, which was Christmas. So maybe the views might be, less, but it's about average of what we're getting right now. For with the algorithm change, our views have kind of gone down a bit, but let's take a look at least what our most recent one looks like, and then we'll talk about how much we made overall this year. So this is our video that came out on Christmas. You can see it, the first 48 hours, it's made about 158 views. We're still just sort of tracking about average of what we are usually getting here. And we've made 19 cents. So that's really kind of what you can expect. It's basically like 10 cents or so every 100 views. Yeah, give or take, depending on time of year and things like that. So some of these videos that you're like, oh, YouTube, you should be making lots of money. Well, we'll take a look with 1,000 subscribers, how much we actually made in 2025 here. All right, so here's our 2024 data. And you're like, what? I thought we were looking at 2025 and see how much you earned. Yes, we will. But I just wanted to showcase this real quick, because I think this is important to, again, talk about growth, how we are views, subscribers, things like that. You see huge peaks with our very specific shorts that we made in the summertime. Again, summertime making content like that, it's easy to be able to do. So let's take a look and see what we got in 2025. All right, 2025, again, almost 100,000 views, 97,259. So this is coming out right before our next video. We have one coming out on Monday, so that view maybe will get closer to getting up to the 100,000. If not, that's our goal for 2026. But we are down subscribers in that count compared to last year, but still made 339 just this year, 8,000 watch hours, which is crazy, and a total of $280 this year on YouTube. So that should kind of give you some indication if you're starting out and you're like, oh, I see these big YouTube Magic the Gathering channels are making a bunch of money, or just I've heard about people making a bunch of money. There is definitely ways to do it, but you need to be, of course, getting in lots of views. Short form content view count and monetization is set up a little bit different than long form, which is our main form of content here. So that is something to note. But you see 2 videos a year, or 2 videos a week guaranteed, sometimes 3, for the most part 2 a week for the whole year, brought us up to $280, which is very cool to be able to see. Starting out, as when we looked at last year, we had $0. Right? We made 0 money on YouTube. So this is all just added bonus extra stuff that we can get, that we can reinvest into the channel, reinvest into better filming equipment, better content for you guys to be able to enjoy. That's the whole point of it here. So if you guys want to be able to show support for the channel in other ways, of course, we have the super subscribers. We've got our Patreon. We've got ways that you guys can be able to help out and support that way there. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit of a different video to kind of wrap up our 2025 stuff and talk a little bit about almost like the finance, the analytics behind YouTube and behind doing the Magic the Gathering content creation here on YouTube with long form content there. But if you guys have questions about this stuff, please let me know. Leave a comment down below and we'll be able to talk to you guys, let you know what's going on. But 2025 wrap up recap there. We had a lot of really great gameplay and a lot of really good videos to feature on the channel. A lot of stuff that we're really happy with, and kind of what decks we got to showcase here. Overall, like, there's still some great gameplay that we've got in the queue to be able to show you. We'll see if we go back and do any of our look back history style videos. We did a couple of those in 2023. That was a lot, but it takes so much time and effort. This is like a look back at Eldrazi Winter, and the only card to be banned twice in Modern. Things like that we're taking a lot more time to work on scripts and do editing and things like that, where it's like we are spending a lot of time with our editing side of things when it comes to doing the gameplay stuff, because we want to make sure we have all the card images available for you to be able to see while we're playing it. So that is, of course, cutting, editing, doing the voiceover stuff, uploading, finding thumbnails that you guys can see. So a lot of stuff that goes into our creation every single week and the stuff that we do here. So I really appreciate all the love and support to the channel, and hope that you guys will be able to stick with us in 2026 when we bring you guys some more modern action here. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching all, and I'll see you all next game.